What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with another Konosuba video, and that is because we have a new event in the game. And it looks a lot like the old event, doesn't it? The beautiful Golem Attack fashion show. It is what it is. So, this is a lot like the last one we had, where you just run the main quests. Now, the one thing I will say here, I really enjoy these because they're so easy to farm. Like, obviously, for every day for your dailies, you should be coming in here, at least for Veneer's quest, you should be coming in here and doing a skip all on basically all the main story events. Okay, let's do that real quick. Takes literally no time. There we go, all done. And, obviously, you want to hit the hard quests too. So we're going to go do that. Skip events, and there we go. Now, I talked a little bit the other day about Extreme Quests. Now, I've not farmed up enough of my Extreme Quests to make this worthwhile, but I would highly recommend going and doing as many of the Extremes as you possibly can. Some of them are pretty challenging still, so if you're not able to, like, get all the way up to, you know, the current with Extremes, that's fine, but I would highly recommend trying to do as many as you can. Not just for the auto run, just in general. Unfortunately, you do only get, like, as many tickets for the event for Extreme as you do for a hard event, and you only get one attempt at the Extreme events, but it is still super worthwhile. The one criticism I'm going to make here, and it probably is just because I overfarmed the last event so bad, I ended with over 7,000 unused tickets I literally just couldn't use fast enough. Every day there's a certain number of them, you know, and then I did as many as I could, but literally, like, with what we have in the game right now, you could farm these things to the moon, and then potentially come in here and then just never be able to use all the tickets. I really would like a system where you could use skip tickets here, even if it costs you, like, extra skip tickets. That would be super nice. So, like, say normal fight costs you 1 to 3 skip tickets, whatever. Maybe the hard costs you 3 skip tickets per run, so like 9 total or something like that. I have enough skip tickets. I'd be ecstatic to have that. That is one change I would really like to see them do, because there are some other games that do that, and frankly, it just makes farming these so much easier. Otherwise, you know, like, I farm the events, but then it's stupid time consuming to come in here and do all of these. But nevertheless, my complaints aside, let's look at the enemy that we have our hands on here. Okay, and let's go actually back a page and read what she does, okay? So, predictably, wind element attacks are effective, and having earth and haze resistance will give you the edge in battle. So, obviously I want to go get some of my earth resistance up, but let's see, I should have a pretty... Actually, you know what? I think I dismantled my wind team. Nope, there it is. Though she doesn't have a weapon. Why does she not have a weapon? Oh, yeah, we'll use that one for now. No, that one's 142. 153 is still, yeah, we'll do that. So, there we are. This is the team that I'm going to wind up using for at least for now, until I until I really vet the team out a little bit more. I built this team a while back for one of the battle arenas, and I was able to get a top 5,000 score easy auto-running those battle arenas, so it was quite nice. And that's even with some of the limited upgrades and stuff like that I do have on this team, so it is quite nice. This team should be able to handle their own in the hard event. We'll find out here in a moment anyway. But of course, we do have a new banner along with this, and we'll need to go talk about that here in a moment. And I actually did some good research on this banner, and I'm a little, I don't know, I'll say disillusioned. And let's talk about that here real quick. So, to go in here, run this every day, fight the fights. It's literally almost identical to what we had before, just wind element with earth resistance, and you're good to go. Now, banner-wise, and this is where I'm like, maybe I've just lost touch, because on the cusp, these units look pretty good, right? So, let's see here. So, HP is 2016. Physical attacks 283, magic attacks 261, physical defense is 228, magic defense is 216, right? And then we come down here, Tornado Thrust. 170% when physical damage to one enemy, 228 when HP is above 70%, with a minor counterattack effect applied to all allies. That, to me, sounds like it should be a really good skill, right? Cooldown is 21 seconds. I think that looks really good to me. Skill 2 is 162 when physical damage to one enemy. That's the big downside to her. One enemy. She does not have an AoE attack. And I'll explain what I'm going to talk about here in a moment. But minor boost to wind damage for all allies for 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a bit low, but we do have units now in the game that will extend that. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. Okay? Base attack is a 126% normal physical damage to one enemy. And character trait is 6% physical attack when using physical attacks. Unfortunately, that is not all allies. It's not team-wide. So it is a fairly limited number, that. But here's the deal. When I'm looking at this, these skills to me look phenomenal. But I actually went through and I did my research on this. And I was looking at all the tier lists. And I didn't find these units anywhere on a current tier list. And maybe I'm just out of touch. But these look really, really good. But when I really sat down and I started addressing this, counter effect for 12 seconds with a 21-second cooldown, even if you reduce cooldown time, yeah, it starts to get a little iffy. Cyclone Thrust, really good, but wind damage for all allies for 10 seconds, it's a bit iffy again. So, really, we need to sit down and I'm going to have to, like, do a little bit more research, come up with my own, like, solid tier list, and really try this out. I'm really going to have to do a lot of research on this here shortly. And we've got to, personally, I've got to kind of crack the code on this. Because reading other people's tier lists only tells you so much. I want to get back to the point in this game where I can tell you exactly why that unit is what it is. And that's something that I've personally got to undertake here. So looks like these units look really good on the surface. Like this guy right here. 164% earth physical damage to one enemy, 219 when HP is above 70%, moderate boost to super gauge for all allies. Looks really great, right? 171% earth physical damage to one enemy, prevents debuffs one time for allies for 10 seconds. But again, that's 10 seconds with a 21-second cooldown, and the other one has a 23-second cooldown. So I'm really starting to kind of see maybe why this might be a thing here. Also, there's physical attack for as the sub for just character, not all teams, and 126% normal physical damage. That looks really good, but apparently, these units still aren't up to snuff. And that's one of the things that I really kind of want to discuss on this, because one of the things I like about this game is the fact that if you're really wise and you save a lot, you could get some good ranking teams with next to little input. It's really knowing what banners to wait for. Now, a lot of people have been waiting for the Overlord collab. Unless I'm mistaken, I think we're slightly overdue for that, so it might be one we don't get. And they did kind of hint at that. Admittedly, it was 6 months to a year ago when they talked about it, but that not every event is going to come in the same order, and we might skip some events. So there's an outside chance that might not be coming, but that does not mean there aren't some units to wait for and all that. So I'm going to do a little research. I'm going to come back. We're going to talk about this. What should you actually be going after? What should you be looking for? And the exact, like, the way you can look at these banners when they drop and come to those distinctions. So I'm going to do a little bit more research, and I'm going to kind of crack that code and bring it to you guys. More than just saying, here's what the Japanese players are saying, you know, a year and a half down the road. Here's everything at your disposal that you can use to try to make this assertion. So I'm going to, that is my promise to you guys, that I'm going to go out of my way to try to make this happen. And it's going to take a little bit of personal research, and it's going to take a lot of testing. It's going to take some time, but That's going to be my next big goal going forward into this. So we got 12 days of this before the next banner drops. So I've got a little bit of a timeline to make that happen. But for now, let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of excited that this is back. I love these events. Just make sure you farm them up. Like, comment, share, and I'm going to catch you guys here shortly for more Konosuba Fantastic Days.